So let's start now. Yeah. So we were seeing the class diagrams yesterday, right? In the last class. So we have started from here, class diagrams. So this is the first kind of structural diagram. Why structural? Because it shows the static features of your system. What are the constant features of your system? What are the structural features of your system? Okay, what is the architecture of your code basically? So that is the purpose of class diagram. Okay, it will be more helpful for a developer because he is the one who is going to start the coding, and whatever the code structure or the code flow he will follow, that will be represented using a class diagram. So basically it's nothing but just what are the classes that you are going to use, what are the objects, and what are the relationships between them. This is the overall analysis for class diagrams. Okay, so let's see one example today. Let me just first cover the whole thing first, so you'll get a gist of what exactly is happening. Okay, so this is how you represent a class with three partitions: first partition, second partition, and third partition. Okay, this first partition is the name of the class. Fine. Obviously normal convention you will follow, like the first alphabet should be capital, just like how you write your code. Okay, the similar conventions you have to follow here also. So this is the class name. Now here will come the methods and attributes, here functions, right? So what is a class? A class is nothing but a collection of objects, similar objects. Okay, for example, if this is an animal class, then what can be its objects? Tiger, lion, giraffe, panda. Okay, all these can be the objects or the instances of animal classes. So are the objects of this animal class. Okay, because they have a certain property which are related to each other. Okay, let's see here. So here you will write the attributes. Okay, in your question or in normal real life also, attributes can be called as fields also, variables also, or properties also. Okay, if I say the class has xyz variables, so it means methods only. The second box, methods only. Okay, if I say the class has these fields, so it also means methods only. If I say the properties of a class are these, then also it is meant by methods only, because here you write the properties or attributes or features basically, on what basis you will identify every object. Okay, for example, you from this animal class you want to identify a tiger. So what are the properties of the tiger? That will be written here. Suppose you want to identify a giraffe from this animal class. Giraffe is an object of this animal class, and you want to identify that or instantify that. That you can also call it as. So how you can do that? Only if you know what are the properties, and these properties will be written in the second box. For example, for this animal class, name, ID, age, these can be some of the properties. Okay, for example, if this is a tortoise, his name can be Ruth, this can be his ID, this can be his age. So these are the properties on the basis of which you are identifying this object from this animal class. Okay, it can be more than that also, it can be less than that also, it depends on the question. For example, suppose you are making a student class, very classical example. So what you do in a student class, obviously student name will be a property, student roll number will be a property, your SAP ID will be a property, phone number can be a property, address can be a property. All these things which can identify you or which separates you from other objects, they are known as attributes. Okay, so any issues with attributes you have? I think I called this methods. It's not methods, attributes. Okay, methods are functions. It will come here. These are attributes. Okay, these are attributes, fields, properties. Anything you can call it as. Just remember properties, so it will be easier to understand what it is meant. Any issues you have with this? Now these attributes will have certain visibility also. Okay, Just like in a class you define public, private, protected, or you show the abstraction, in the same way these attributes will also have the visibility. Minus means private, means only the functions present in this class can access these variables. These are private. Okay. Then there is plus. Plus means any class in any package can access these members. Okay. Then there is hash. It means protected, means only the subclasses, only the elements inside this class and its child classes. Okay, only the members present inside this class and present inside its child class, only those can access a protected member, nothing outside that. Okay, there is one more visibility, let me tell you. It's like this: static package. This is for package. We don't use it much often, but it means that whatever classes are inside one single package, you know, package is a collection of classes. This is class A, class B, class C, class A, class B, class C. This is package A, and suppose you have, this is package 1, and suppose you have package 2. Inside package 2 you have class D, class E, class F. Okay, so private means, suppose some members inside A class are private, so it means only the functions or the members inside A can use those private things. It's private to A. Okay, public means any class either in this package or any class either in this package also can access a public member. Protected means, suppose there is a member which is protected inside B, so either B will access that protected member, or suppose C is a child of B, so C can also access that. That is protected. So protected is somewhat between private and public. This package means, if suppose in class A some of the data members or some of the attributes or some of the methods, also these functions, anything, if anything is static, or you can say package, not static, you say just package. Okay, this is the visibility of a package. Suppose this is in front of name. In front of name you put this sign, package sign. So it means name can be accessed by only those classes which are inside this package A only, any class. Got it? So these are the visibilities. Generally you are going to use only these three visibilities: private, protected, and public. Clear? Any doubts in visibility? Any doubts in visibility? Yes or no? Okay, clear? Now the third box. This box or this partition of a class diagram or a class is for the methods or the functions. Like how in normal class you write functions. For suppose in the animal class, I want to write a function that sleep, that the animal is going to sleep. So that will be a function. Suppose the animals eat. So I will write a function eat, that animals eat. Suppose I want to rename an animal. Okay? Suppose I want to, where it is gone? Yeah. Suppose I want to rename this Ruth as say XYZ. So again, whatever you want to perform, the actions or the functions now, that will be represented in the methods. So you can make a rename function, just like in normal classes you function. Okay? So these are the methods. So these methods will also have visibility. Okay. Again, you can define these methods as private, public, or protected. Anything you can define. Okay, this eat will also have some visibility, say plus. Now in the attributes, suppose you have written the attribute name as name and defined that it is private using this minus sign, then also you can, it's not compulsory but it's recommended, okay, depending on the question what's given. So you have to show the data type of that attribute also. For example, suppose name is of the type string, so you will put this symbol and write string. That string is the return type or the data type of name. ID is of integer type, so you can write it like this. Age is of integer type, so you can write it like this. So what are the return types or the data types of your attributes? you can define using this symbol, right? For example, suppose now in the methods, suppose if you are writing a function, then obviously you provide some arguments inside it, right? You provide some arguments inside your function. So if you want to show that set name takes two arguments, first is a variable or character, second is also a variable or character. So you can show this also, but generally we don't show this anything in the methods. We just write the methods name for simplicity. But if we want that this method set name takes variable 1 and variable 2 as arguments or input, and its data type is string or return type is string, so you can show it like this. Okay, but generally this is not required unless explicitly given in the question. You don't have to write this, just write the name of the function with this brackets, function brackets. Okay, like set name this, like eat this, and show the visibility is very important. It has to be there in your diagram. You have to show the visibility, public, private, protected, whatever the visibility is. Okay, so this is the basic structure of a class diagram or a class. Okay, this is your class name, these are your attributes or the properties of the class, and these are the methods or functions of the class. Any doubt? Any doubt? Anyone? Okay, clear. Now we will see the relationships. Okay, what kind of relation? See, you have class and object diagrams. Okay, right now we are studying only class diagrams. अभी object diagram पे नहीं गए हम लोग. When we will create particular objects of this class, बताया था ना, underline करके object name करते हैं. We underline it, then it become object name. We will see that in next classes. But right now we are doing class diagram only. Okay, so just keep that thing in mind. So now let's see the relationships. Okay, like in use case diagrams we have read association, generalization, include, exclude, right? These were the four main relationships in the use case diagram. Now we will see what are the relationships that are in a class diagram. So as usual, of course, you are reading a OOPS concept, object oriented language, so there will be inheritance. What was inheritance called in use case diagram? But what was inheritance called in use case diagram? Was it named inheritance or something else? Generalization, yes, right. So, but what was the symbol of generalization? Like this only, line with the arrow. So again here the symbol will be line with an arrow for generalization. So what is this inheritance? Let's see it again. Suppose this is my animal class. Now I want to create three more classes. These tortoise are not objects right now. Just suppose we want to create three different objects. For suppose one tortoise, one suppose this is tiger, and suppose this is lion. Okay, so I want to create three different classes for tortoise, tiger, and lion. So these are the subclasses or the child classes of this animal parent class. So how you will write? Use case में कैसे करते थे? If suppose this is one use case and this is another child use cases, so you used to represent it like this. That this is a parent class. These two are the child classes. Again, you will follow the same representation. That animal is the parent class and rest three are the child classes. Why we perform inheritance? What is the need? For example, suppose होगा क्या उससे? What will happen with this inheritance? What are the benefits? Again, the same benefits of inheritance. जो भी inheritance का benefit होता है, वही you are going to get here. For example, if you do inheritance of these three classes, tortoise, tiger, and lion. So what will happen with that? These things, name, ID, age, set name, eat, these methods and attributes of the animal class will be known to tortoise also, will be known to tiger also, will be known to lion also. Means tortoise will by default have this name, ID and age. अगर ये नहीं करते, if you don't do inheritance, तो आपको यहाँ भी you have to write these three things again in tortoise, again in the lion you have to write these three things again in the tiger you have to write these three things again. If you don't do inheritance, then you have to write it again here, again here, again here. Unnecessary repetition of work will be there, right? Second point of benefit, suppose I want to change that. No, I want to change this ID with SAP ID. I want to change this function, this attribute. I want to change the name of this attribute to SAP ID. And then if you are not doing inheritance, if you have made these three separate classes, then you have to change SAP ID here also, you have to change SAP ID here also, you have to change SAP ID here also. This is for only 3 classes. Suppose you have thousands of classes, then in the thousands of classes you have to rename it again and again. So instead of that, if you just directly do this inheritance, then you need not write these attributes and these methods again anywhere here. Automatically tortoise knows that it has attributes name, ID, age, and it has function set name and eat. Same with lion and same with tiger. Okay, so the classes, the child classes, Sachin Tendulkar wala example tha na, his son knows regarding cricket, but this also means that these classes can have separate attributes and methods also. For example, this loin class, this loin child class, without doing anything, with this just one single arrow, knows that there is some attribute known as name, there is some attribute known as ID, there is some attribute known as age, there is a function known as set name, there is a function known as eat. It already knows these. ये सारी powers हैं loin के पास. Apart from that, it can have some of its own unique features. For example, it can have, say, date of birth as a separate attribute. Okay, it can have a date of birth as a separate attribute. It can have separate functions also. For example, it can have a function sleep, which is not present in the parent class. It can have separate features also. So will these features be known to this tiger and this tortoise also or not? Will these two features, date of birth and sleep, be known to tiger and tortoise also? No, right? Because they are the separate features of this child class. It's simple. We are just discussing the class and object properties only. Okay, nothing complicated here. So clear to everyone? So this is your parent class or super class, and these are your child classes. This is how you represent generalization or inheritance. Right? Like this. It can have separate attribute of its own, whisker length. Right? That is a private. And this whisker length will not be known to either this, or either the parent class. This is explicit or special property of this loin class only. Got it? So this was your inheritance relationship, the first one. Now the second abstraction we will discuss. The second is the association. Like in the use case diagram, we had association, right? Between an actor and a use case, we had association. In the same way, in class diagram also, we have association that is represented using one single line. This is one single line, like in use case diagram. Okay, this means that suppose this is loin class, and this is another creature, sea urchin. Okay, so यहाँ पे you have one more benefit also in the class diagrams, that you can write relationship name on the association line. Like you don't have to only show that this is an association line. You can write something on that also, that eats, that lion eats sea urchin. So you can show what kind of association is this. In the use case diagram, you were just showing a single line. There was nothing written on it. It was just an association between this actor and this use case. Here you can write on the association line anything you want. Suppose you have a class student and you have another class course. So you can show association line with this. And to make it more appealing, visually more appealing, you can also write it here, say takes. That student takes course. So it's just easy to read. That's it. Okay, it just makes the purpose easy, that you are showing it. It's easy to read. Student takes course. Here also one thing is there. One thing you can write it like this, directed association. That loin eats sea urchin, na? So you can make an arrow here, that this is a directed association. Directed association means the flow will be from here to here only. Use case diagram में क्या हो रहा था? Generally, we know that actor can only initiate a use case, but if there is no direction, it can also mean that use case is responding back. But in a use diagram, this doesn't matter, because we know that only actor can initiate a use case. Reverse is not possible. But in a class diagram, if you are not showing any arrow and you are just writing eats here without any arrow, what does this mean? This means that lion always eats sea urchin. या इसका कुछ उल्टा भी meaning हो सकता है if there is no arrow like this. If there is no arrow or directed association, what does this mean? Does this always mean that Loin eats urchin? It can also mean this way, no? It can also mean the reverse way, that sea urchin can eat Loin. Okay, so that is why either you can use directed association by giving any arrow here, or one more functionality is provided in class diagram, that is the relationship direction. For example, if this is your Loin and you are writing relationship, you have drawn one line here, that is your association line. You have associated Loin with sea urchin. Then you can write on the association line eats, means this association line relationship name. This is known as relationship name. क्या relationship का नाम इन दोनों के बीच? Eats. Now, if you want to show the direction, in which direction we have to read, you can give a relationship direction also with eats only. ऐसा एक black color का box will be created. This functionality is not provided in star UML, I guess. Last time when I used that, this was not there. This relationship direction property. Okay, but you can show it like this. उससे फायदा क्या होगा? Suppose you have a student class here, you have a course class here, and okay, then you can associate student and course like this, and you can write takes, and you can show a relationship direction like this. That अभी पढ़ने में आसान हो गया. This is just visually very easy to read. Whenever a person will see this class diagram, this is a class, this is another class, he will directly read that okay, student takes course, because this is in this direction. Okay, so this is your association relationship. Any doubts? Clear? Fine. Now the third, अब ध्यान से सुनना. Now we are going to discuss two most important relationships, जो कि खुद से पढ़ोगे तो थोड़ा कंफ्यूज भी बाद में, इसलिए just listen to it very carefully. First is association. This is represented by a diamond shaped box like this with an arrow. So what does this association means? Suppose you have this class tortoise. A group of tortoise is known as creep. Creep is a group of tortoise like this. So if I draw an association, this is known as association. If I show the relationship between tortoise and a creep of tortoise or a group of tortoise like this, association, this means that this tortoise is a part of creep. This tortoise is a part of creep. But this tortoise has its own individual existence also. Means if all these group of tortoise gets killed, gets destroyed, then also this tortoise will have its single existence. ये खत्म नहीं होगा. If this class is destructed or destroyed, then also this class will stay here. That is meant by association. Take another example. Suppose this is a computer class, and I have one other class keyboard, and I show the relationship between computer and keyboard with association like this. So it means that keyboard is a part of computer. But if you this computer, if you destroy this computer, then also keyboard will be having its own individual existence. ये खत्म नहीं हो जाएगा keyboard. It will exist. Similarly with mouse, suppose you have a mouse class and it is associated with aggregation rule. Okay, this aggregation rule. This is the aggregation rule. Did I take aggregation name right till now, और मैंने कुछ और बोला था अभी तक? मैंने शायद association बोल दिया था इसको भी. What did I tell the name of this relationship? Yeah, association. Yeah, association तो single line है, which we read earlier. This is aggregation. Sorry, वो थोड़ा confusing name भी है इन सबका. Association was the single line जिसके ऊपर we were writing eats और direction बना रहे थे. That was association. Fine. थोड़ा टोको यार, तुम लोग भी नहीं बोल रहे हो. That was association. And this arrow, जो तीर तलवार वाला bow and arrow वाला arrow है, that is your inheritance or generalization. If you create this diamond shape here, that is aggregation. Okay, so this is an aggregation relationship. So suppose you have a mouse, and mouse is related with aggregation relationship with this computer. Then it means that if you destroy this computer, then also mouse will exist. Mouse is just a part of this computer. Without computer, mouse will exist on its own also. Clear? Aggregation. अब इसके बाद कंपोजिशन पढ़ेंगे तो दोनों में डिफरेंस यू विल गेट. ओके, दिस इज द रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ एग्रीगेशन. ये सिंबल तरफ रहेगा. टॉर्टोइज इज अ पार्ट ऑफ कंप्यूटर, सॉरी क्रीप, तो इस तरफ रहेगा. ओके, इफ दिस वाज अ कंप्यूटर एंड दिस वाज अ कीबोर्ड, सो कीबोर्ड इज अ पार्ट ऑफ. ऐसे बनाते ना, इज अ पार्ट ऑफ डायरेक्शन, सो उसी डायरेक्शन की जगह देयर इज अ डायमंड शेप हियर. सो कीबोर्ड इज अ पार्ट ऑफ कंप्यूटर. सो जो मेन पेरेंट क्लास है, like here the parent class is creep for this aggregation relation. So ये diamond shape arrow will be with the parent class. जैसे inheritance में करते हो, inheritance में where is this arrow? Inheritance में where is this arrow? Towards the parent class or towards the child class? This arrow, parent class. So similarly in aggregation also it will be towards the parent class. And next we are going to see composition. In the composition also the composition symbol will be towards the parent class. So this was all about aggregation. Let's see the next thing. The next relationship is composition. Okay, composition is represented by again same diamond block, but this time it will be black in color. So what does this composition means? Suppose in your zoo only, the zoo example which we are creating, this may animals say, animal classes say. In the zoo you have a class known as visitor center. You have a visitor center, and inside that visitor center you have a lobby, and inside that visitor center you have a bathroom also. Now suppose some earthquake comes and this visitor center gets destroyed. Will this lobby and will this bathroom exist? No, they will also be destroyed. So that is meant by composition. अब यहाँ पे बताओ composition का symbol where it will come? Towards here or towards here? It will come here, right? So composition means if the parent class is destroyed, the child classes will also be destroyed. Let's take another example. For suppose there is a class known as human. There is a class human, and there is a child class hand. There is a child class leg, and they are having a relationship of composition with this human class. So if this human being is killed, will this hand and leg class will exist on its own? Will they have any existence of their own, any meaning of their own? No, right? So this is what is meant by composition. In aggregation, if the parent class is destroyed, if the group of tortoises is destroyed, even then the single tortoise will exist. If the computer is destroyed, then also the keyboard and mouse will exist. So they are aggregation. But in composition, if the parent class is destroyed, the child classes will also destroy. For example, suppose you have WhatsApp. You have a class known as WhatsApp. This is your class. You have another class known as WhatsApp group, and they are related with composition. So it means that if this WhatsApp is destroyed or destructed or removed or deleted or uninstalled from your phone, if you uninstall your WhatsApp, then WhatsApp group will also uninstall from the phone. This class will also be removed. That is meant by composition. So any doubts? We will see a real life example. इस सबको भी combine करके सारे relationship, सारे diagrams को we will see a huge example. और अभी तो 2-3 क्लासेस, 4-5 क्लासेस यही पढ़ना ही है, क्लास डायग्राम ओनली. Sir, isn't it more like parent has to have something of child in order to child to exist? No, it's like suppose you have a class order and you have another class order ID. Okay, it simply means composition simply means suppose this is related with composition. Composition simply means if you destroy this order ही delete कर दिया अगर, then order id will automatically be deleted. It parents को अलग से this order doesn't need to have some properties, so ये attach हुई अलग है. अब computer एक अलग class है. Computer has its own methods, computer has its own functions. Keyboard is a different class. Keyboard has its own methods, keyboard has its own attributes or functions. सब अलग है. But अगर इनमें relationship aggregation, this is a relationship, they are different classes. इनकी प्रॉपर्टीज अलग है, इनकी मेथड्स. अब देखो ना, ये विजिटर सेंटर इज लाइक दिस. इसमें लॉबी इज अ डिफरेंट एंटिटी इन इटसेल्फ, बाथरूम इज अ डिफरेंट एंटिटी इन इटसेल्फ, कोई रिलेशन नहीं है इन तीनों का. बट इफ दे आर रिलेटेड विद कंपोजिशन, this simply means if you destroy this visitor center, automatically this lobby and bathroom will be destroyed. This is a relationship. कोई प्रॉपर्टीज का इंटरफेरेंस और एक्सचेंज नहीं हो रहा है. प्रॉपर्टीज का एक्सचेंज अगर करना है, यू विल यूज इनहेरिटेंस. अगर एक क्लास की प्रॉपर्टी यू वांट टू यूज इन द सेकंड क्लास, यू हैव टू यूज इनहेरिटेंस. गॉट इट क्षितिज? Like this. Suppose this visitor center is destroyed, then this lobby and this bathroom will also be destroyed. Okay, this is how you represent composition. Again, the symbol will be towards the parent class. Just keep that thing in mind. Okay, in inheritance also the symbol is towards the parent class. In aggregation also the symbol is towards the parent class. In composition also the symbol is towards the parent class. There are some other relationships also like dependency. वो सब हम देखेंगे with more diagrams. Okay, first now just get a gist. Overall एक बार पूरा class diagram समझ आ जाए, then we will go in the depth again. फिर से ये सारी चीजें देखेंगे. You are going to see this thing 2 to 3 times more. Now we lab maybe we are going to do the same thing. So with more examples it will be a lot clear. Okay, now comes the next thing, that is multiplicity. और फिर से just pay concentration here. Okay, this is another important thing. Just like ER diagram होता था ना, ER diagram जब बनाते थे, you showed that there is a student, yeah, like 1 to many, many to 1 जैसे करते थे. The same thing is this multiplicity. Just see how to read this. You can see this hand. You can see this hand. Yeah. Now suppose this is my visitor center, and this visitor center has only one lobby. Just one lobby is there. In the visitor center there is only one lobby, so I will write 1 here. और ये जरूरी नहीं, you have to write on the composition link only. You can write it on association link also, you can write it on aggregation link also, you can write it on inheritance link also. नहीं, inheritance में तो it doesn't make sense. बाकी association, aggregation, composition सब में लगा सकते हैं ये 1, है ना. सिर्फ composition के साथ नहीं, it can be with anyone. So इसको पढ़ोगे कैसे? Visitor center has 1 lobby, exactly 1 lobby. Now next thing I want to say is that this visitor center has at least 1 bathroom. मतलब एक bathroom तो है ही, एक से ज्यादा कितने भी हो सकते हैं. At least 1 bathroom is there. So how you will show 1 or more than 1? You will write 1 dot dot star like this. So इसको पढ़ोगे कैसे? How you will read it? Yeah, it can be other way around also. यहाँ भी हो सकता है, यहाँ भी हो सकता है. अभी देखेंगे, एग्जांपल देखेंगे, इट विल बी क्लियर, है ना. कहीं भी हो सकता है, इधर भी हो सकता है, इधर भी हो सकता है. इट कैन बी विद एसोसिएशन, इट कैन बी विद एग्रीगेशन, इट कैन बी विद composition. This is a separate concept in itself. Multiplicity, how you want to read. Suppose there is a class known as student, there is a class known as course, and I have shown an association link between them, and I have shown here takes. Now I want to write that one student take at least 1 course, so I will write 1 here, and I will write 1 dot dot star. So what does this 1 means? That one student will take at least 1 or more than 1 courses. And इसको इस तरफ से अगर पढ़ो तो it means that course is taken by 1 student. Okay, we will see the example, will be clear. ऊपर से पढ़ देखो, if you want to read this कि ये इसका मतलब क्या है, so you have to start from the parent class and comes towards it with a has. अगर कुछ यहां लिखा होगा, suppose here it is written 2, so you have to come from here to here. जिस चीज को पढ़ना है उस तरफ आना है. For example, if I want to read this, so I will read it, visitor center has 1 or more than one bathroom. If I want to read this two, सिर्फ two लिखा है यहाँ, so I will read from here, lobby has two visitor centers. This is how you have to read. This is how the statements will be given in the question, and you have to draw this diagram. पढ़ना आ गया सबको? हल्का सा आइडिया लगा? With more diagrams it will be very easy, don't worry. This is nothing, just you have to read it. Got it? So how many kinds of multiplicities are there? This is optional, 0 to 1. You want to write, you don't want to write, doesn't write. Then it is n. N means a specific number. For example, here we have written 1. पढ़ोगे कैसे? If you want to read this 1, इस 1 तक आना है. You have to reach this 1. So visitor center has one lobby. Then 0 to many. It is, suppose I write here 0 dot dot star. So this means 0 to many. Star means many. अब इसको पढ़ोगे कैसे? ये पढ़ना है, so you will reach till here. यहां तक आओगे with a has. Visitor center has either 0 bathrooms or more than 0 bathrooms. Means it is possible that there is no bathroom also. Right? Once dot dot star. This means one to many. अगर ये पढ़ना है one to many. So you have to reach till here with a has. अच्छा, ऐसा कहीं लिखा नहीं है बुक में कि with a has you have to reach. बस आसान पढ़े पढ़ने में आप लोगों को. That's why I am telling. है ना? ऐसा कहीं लिखा मत बोलना सर has लिखा नहीं है कहीं. ऐसा has कहीं नहीं लिखा है. Just for your understanding, I am telling how you have to read it. Okay, so suppose you want to read this one dot dot star. So you have to reach till here with a has. And how you will read it? Visitor center has one or more than one bathrooms. Now m dot dot n. This means specific number. For example, suppose instead of this one dot dot star, I write 4 dot dot 7. Specific numbers. Here also specific number, here also specific number. Now what does this mean? Tell me. Now you read and tell me. What does this mean? पूरा पूरा पढ़ो, विजिटर सेंटर से पढ़ो, पेरेंट क्लास से. Read it full from the parent class. Visitor class से पढ़ते हो. The visitor center has 4 to 7 bathrooms. Yes, right. Right. So you want to read this. So कैसे पढ़ोगे? You have to reach here with a has. पढ़ो ऊपर से. Visitor center has 4, 5, 6 or 7 bathrooms. Means 4 to 7 bathrooms. Simple. Suppose I now write 1 here. Now read for this one. Everyone is not responding. समझ नहीं आ रहा क्या? Bathroom has one visitor center. Yes, right, good job. Everyone, all 47 students. And each bathroom has one visitor center. There is one bathroom. हाँ नहीं तनु, there is one bathroom in visitor center. नहीं, ऐसे मत चेंज करो इंग्लिश, otherwise you get confused. Just keep a has here. Has के साथ ही पढ़ो. Bathroom has one visitor center. ऐसे ही पढ़ो. वरना होगा क्या? Definitely you have understood. The meaning is right. But अब अगर यही meaning, अब क्योंकि you will get only statements, like you will get case studies in exam. So you have to draw the diagram from case study. So read it like this only. एक ही आदत डालो कि ऐसे ही पढ़ना है. So diagrams case study से पढ़ना आसान रहेगा. Otherwise you can get confused. Okay, bathroom has one visitor center. Fine. So this was all about multiplicity. We will see a lot of examples here. बहुत सारे examples देखेंगे. It will be clear with more examples. Now we are going to see this huge diagram. This is a online shopping cart diagram. Okay, this is how a class diagram will look like. So you can see here is inheritance. here is composition. Aggregation नहीं है इसमें, there is no aggregation. This is multiplicity, है ना? This is a relationship name. All these things are there. So we will see one by one each part of the diagram. Let's see. Let's first focus on this part. Okay. See this part. This part I am focusing on. This. So if you zoom in this diagram, you can see there is a class user which has the attributes as user ID, password, login status, register date, and these attributes have the visibility as private. The return type of user is string, or the data type of user is string. The data type of password is string. The data type of login status is string. The data type of register date is date. And there is one method also in the user class, that is verify login. That is a Boolean kind of thing. So what is happening in this user class? This is your class. Now when you enter one particular value for the user ID, status, login status, register date, तो क्या मिलेगा उससे? What you will get? If you enter one values for all these things, what you will get? You will get a क्या मिलेगा? क्या मिलता है? एक particular instance, एक particular values if you enter in methods and attributes, what you get? You get object or a instance of that class, right? You get an object of one instance of that class. So this is how you have to read a class, right? Instance object. Fine. Now let's see here. You can see there is inheritance here. कैसे पता चला? इस symbol से पता चला. And both of this symbol is pointing to user class. So this means that user is the parent class for customer and for administrator. This means that customer already knows there is a user ID, means a customer already has a user ID, has a password, login status, register date, and he will log in first. And then apart from that, a customer can also have customer name, address, email, all these things. These are personal to the customer. Means he will know everything present in the parent class, but he also has certain features and certain functions of its own also. Similarly with the administrator class. Administrator class, देखो simple सी बात है ना. If either you are a customer or you are an administrator, what is the first thing that you have to do? You are accessing a Flipkart website. Either you are a customer or you are an administrator. The first thing that you have to do is to log in, or you have to be a user of. इसका meaning समझो. ये child class क्यों है ये? Because a customer or administrator. What is this user? User is a generalized name for a customer or an administrator, right? User is a generalized name for a customer or an administrator. That is why we say here we are doing inheritance or generalization. Means we are generalizing the name for administrator and customer as user. Remember in the use case diagram we had type, that you want to make the credit card payment. So either you can do the payment from service account or you can do the payment from savings account. So we are generalizing this service account and payment account in one single form. So this is what is meant by inheritance. This is the essence of inheritance. What is inheritance? You are generalizing the child classes. Getting it? Similarly, administrator will have admin name and email. Apart from all these things will be known to administrator. These things administrator can access. Apart from that, it has its own certain features. तो दिक्कत? Clear? Fine. Now let's focus on this left side, this side. Now let's focus on this part. We have seen this. Now let's focus on this. कि यहाँ क्या हो रहा है? Now see here. You can see one class customer, one class shopping cart, one class order. And there is a composition relationship. कैसे पता? With dark. अगर ये dark नहीं होता, white होता, this would have been aggregation, right? But this is a composition relationship. अब composition relationship is with this class, and यहाँ पे भी composition relationship is with this class. So which is the parent class? This customer is the parent class for both shopping cart and order. When I'm saying parent cart, it doesn't mean inheritance is happening here. It is a customer is a parent class for this composition relationship. This means that if customer class is deleted, if something's happened to the customer uninstall his Flipkart account, the customer deactivates his Flipkart account, then his shopping cart will also be deleted, and whatever order he has placed will also be deleted. This is what is meant by जितने भी box बने हैं उससे. If a customer deactivates his class, his ID, he deactivates himself from the Flipkart, then automatically his cart will be deactivated, his order will be deactivated. Means these child classes cannot exist without the parent class. अगर इसकी जगह एग्रीगेशन होता तो क्या होता? If this would have been like this aggregation, तो क्या होता? Even if you delete this customer, तब एग्जिस्ट करेंगे या नहीं ये दोनों? Will these two exist or not? Yes. If this would have been an aggregation, then if you delete the customer, then also the shopping cart and order would have existed, right? But in case of composition, if you delete this customer, then automatically shopping cart and order will be deleted. अब यहाँ एक और चीज हो रही है. What? You can see multiplicity. You can see multiplicity. So if you want to read this one, कैसे पढ़ोगे? इस one तक आना है with a has. Means shopping cart has one customer. Shopping cart has one customer, exactly one customer. Obviously, shopping cart will have only one customer. हर customer का एक ही shopping cart हो सकता है, right? हर customer का एक ही shopping cart हो सकता है. So that is why shopping cart has one customer. Now, if you want to read this, 0 dot dot star. 0 dot dot star means 0 to many. So you have to come to it with a has. Customer has 0 or more than 0 shopping carts or items in the shopping carts. Okay, this is like a items in the shopping cart. इसका मतलब क्या हो रहा है कि एक कस्टमर या तो 0 आइटम होंगे शॉपिंग कार्ट में या तो 0 से ज्यादा आइटम हो सकते हैं, बट हर कस्टमर का शॉपिंग कार्ट सिर्फ एक ही होगा. read it on your own once. First read this, then read this. इसको कैसे पढ़ोगे? शॉपिंग कार्ट हैज वन कस्टमर. मतलब अगर ये शॉपिंग कार्ट है, दिस इज योर कार्ट, सो इसका सिर्फ एक ही कस्टमर हो सकता है. देयर कैन बी ओनली वन कस्टमर. And if you want to read this 0 dot dot star, this means you have to share with a has. Customer has 0 or more than 0. Means a customer can have 0 items or 1 items or any number of items in the shopping cart. Let's read this. Read this. First read this and tell me. What does this mean? 1 जो मैंने सर्किल किया. Read this. Tell me. Order has only one customer. Yes. Okay. How you have to read? You have to read this. So you have to come from here with a has. So order has exactly one customer. Obviously, every order has exactly one customer only. Right? Now read this. Second, this thing. Read. Customer has 0 or more than 0 orders. Yes, right? So this also, see, a class diagram will be a real life diagram only. So while making the diagram, you can get a sense कि कुछ गलत नहीं बन रहा है, कोई गलत multiplicity you are not writing. Here, if you are reading this one, order has exactly one customer. Obviously, if you have placed an order for a pen, your order ID will be fixed. So that pen will have only one customer. And if you are reading this, this means customer has 0 or more than 0 orders. A customer can have an order for pen, a customer can have an order for book. जितने मर्जी ऑर्डर वो प्लेस कर दे. तो customer can have many orders, but every order will have one customer only. Every order will have one customer only. That is what is meant by multiplicity. That is how multiplicity is acting here. Clear to everyone? और बहुत से diagrams इसके देखेंगे. It will be clear, don't worry. Fine till now? So we have covered this part. We have covered this part. Now the last part, let's see this thing once. और ऐसे ही you draw the class diagrams, है ना? एक बार में सारी की suppose 6 classes you identify. It depends. It actually depends on the practice. Some students or some people feel that first let's identify all the classes. Suppose there are 6 classes, so I will identify all the 6 classes placed here. Then we will see what is the relationship between them. So that also works. Or suppose you are writing one class, so just write first, fulfill this class first. Write the name of this class, write the attributes, write the functions. First complete this class, then move to other class. It depends how you feel comfortable. But let's first see the example. Now let's see this part. If you see this part, again, this is order class and it is having composition relationship of 2 other classes. Now this order will become a parent class for this shopping info and this order details. पहले ये order was in a composition relationship with this class. So जब ये delete हुआ तो ये automatically delete हो गया. Now this order is having a composition relationship with other 2 classes. And now which is the parent class? Order is class. So simple composition rule hai. So it means if somehow this order gets deleted, automatically the shopping info will be deleted and order details will be deleted. Obviously it makes sense. If you delete a particular order, whatever was the shipping info where the order has to be sent, that will also be deleted with the order, and order details will also be deleted. So it makes sense also, right? Now let's see the multiplicity here. First read this. Tell me. Order has exactly one shipping info, right? And read this. Shipping info has exactly one order. So it makes sense, right? Means every order, suppose you placed the order for a pen from Flipkart. So the shipping address will be exactly once. It will be shipped to one shipping address, right? And the shipping address, अब अगर ये पढ़ना है, so you have to come from here with a has. Shipping address has exactly one order also. Okay, at every shipping address you have exactly one order. अब this is not a पत्थर की लकीर. It will always exist like this. It depends on the question, what statement question is saying. If question is saying you that the order can be shipped to only one shipping address, then you will write multiplicity 1 here. If the statement says, or if the question says that an order can be shipped to at least or at most 2, suppose this is a statement that an order can be shipped to at most 2 shipping addresses, तो यहाँ पे क्या multiplicity आएगी? पहले तो बताओ multiplicity आएगी कहाँ? यहाँ पे आएगी या यहाँ पे आएगी? Order can be shipped to at most 2 places only. यहाँ आएगी, राइट? क्योंकि इसको पढ़ने के लिए यहाँ से आते हैं. And we write has it. Order has something as shipping info. So I'm saying order can be shipped to at most 2 shipping addresses, right? So you will write the multiplicity here. क्या multiplicity you will at most 2 के लिए? 0.2. Yes, good. You will write 0.2. Now how you will read this 0.2? यहाँ आओगे. You will reach here. Order has 0, 1 or maximum 2 shipping infos. Clear everyone? Now read this. What does this mean? We have to, यहाँ तो पहले से has लिखा हुआ. Order has only one order details. यहाँ पे भी 1 है. Means order details has only one order. So this is a one-to-one relationship. Now I think it should be clear to everyone. Okay? We will see more examples in the next class. Don't worry. This is all. This is your whole module of class right now. Okay? We have seen in one lecture the whole thing. Now we will see everything with more diagrams in the next classes. So any doubts? Where Himanshu? Where? One तो पहले से है ना यहाँ पे. One you already have here, right? Yeah, one you have here. This means every order has only one order detail, and order detail has only one order, or order detail is for only one order. You have to read it like this: one-to-one relationship. Clear, everyone? Any doubts? Okay, then we will meet in the next class and we will continue there. Okay, thank you. And I think the last day to submit your assignment is today only, right? So just the assignment will not be visible after the 12 midnight. So just make sure of that. Okay. Sure. Thank you.